For those of you that aren't familiar with these magnesium starters, I'll show you my old one. I've used this many times, and you can see very little of the magnesium has been used, so you can get thousands of starts out of this. The first thing you do is put some tinder, pine needles, etc., dry leaves here, but a Kleenex always works really well. You take the magnesium block and you hold it at about a 45-degree angle, and you can see I'm just scraping down and taking some of the magnesium off. You don't need a lot, and you can see I've got some there. I can pull it together into a little pile, and then when I have that pile like that, the other side is my flint. So then I can take this at the same angle and set it pointed right at the magnesium and spark it, and there we go. And you can see I've got a fire started, and that little fire, I'm going to go ahead and put this out real quick so I don't start my workbench on fire. But this little thing here, you can fall in the water, you can get it all wet, dry it off, but if you're lost and you need some heat, this little guy can save your life. Here's a little quick project that makes a very nice gift for someone. I think I'm going to make one of these for my son and one for a friend. This is a magnesium starter that has flint here, magnesium in this area, and a little keychain. And what I'm planning to do is I just want to dress it up a little bit. And I have this piece of walnut, and I've split it down to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Laminate it right here onto the block of wood so it'll look kind of sharp when you use it. I'm going to take this now and I'm going to rip it on my bandsaw the width of this magnesium. So let's go take a look at that. Now you can see I've taken my fence and I have my magnesium block right here, and I want to make it a little bit narrower so the wood doesn't come right up to the edge. And I have my square, and I've squared off my fence, so I'm going to run my wood through here and make those pieces of wood for the magnesium block. Now I'm going to take these two-part epoxy resins. I've already mixed them here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of this on one piece of walnut. I'm putting on a pretty good thick layer, and this is 5-minute epoxy, and I've had it mixed up for about 3.5 minutes, so I'm kind of moving quickly here. Try and get this up and on here because it's setting up really fast. And then when I get this in position, got to get the remainder of this up. There we go. Get all of the surface wet with this resin. Then I'm going to take and slap this so I can see the light through the hole in there that I made. Kind of slip to the side. And then I'm going to take and mix a little bit more resin for this other piece of wood. So we've had about 12 hours of dry time, so I'll go ahead and take the clamps off. And there we go. Looks like I've got quite a big layer of epoxy out here that I didn't really want, but there it is. And a little bit of one there, but I think we can clean some of that up with the sander. So now I'm going to go ahead and use this countersinking bit to clean up these holes a little bit. And then I'll sand it off with the belt sander. So now when I start sanding this, what I'm going to do is sand the flat surfaces first, and then after that I'm going to take these edges down by going like this with a kind of a spin like that. Probably ought to do it with this flat surface on the bottom. Spin like that, spin like this, spin like this. And then I'll take this and very carefully hold it and trim it like that. And that will get that edge beveled down really nicely around the side. So let's give it a go. For you novices, you might wonder, I should be putting this down on here to hold it in place, but I don't know how square this is. I squared it up. So I could do it like that, but if you've done this a lot in your lifetime, and I have, if you've got a good grip on here and you know that this is pulling down and you push into the direction, it's a safe maneuver. You can see I've beveled it down. It almost looks like a harmonica now. And now I'm going to take it and do a little work on it with my palm sander. So I got these guys sanded down, and I'm going to put a little bit of this Waco Danish oil on here. I don't know if it's the best way to go, but it's attractive. It seals the wood, and you can wax it later. Look at how that pops the color. Wow. The only thing I regret on this job is that some of my resin kind of leaked out along this edge, and it doesn't look just perfect, but this GE, good enough for the folks that I'm giving it to will love these. So I'll put a coat on here, and then in a while I'll come back and put a second coat on. So I'll just let these dry vertically like that, and there we go. So here we go. This is my custom fire starter with walnut finished wood on it, and they supply you with this little chunk of hacksaw blade, but I usually prefer to use a knife to do this fire starting. I still have to put a coat of paste wax on here, and that'll give it a little bit more shine, but hope you like that. Give it a try.